soon.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to start to see hyperinflation come here right now in the next month going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see 10% inflation per month in the next 4 or 5 months.
That's nuts.
So
much for that pay raise you got.
And people are going to walk off the job because the stress. A lot of people are at these jobs because they have to be. They've got kids, they've got responsibilities and debt, and they're there because that job pays for what they're responsible for. But at what point do they just say, this isn't worth it anymore? I'm not going to keep coming in when I can't get groceries on the table.
Marty, what you got to say?
I think you're going to see a decentralized.
Bro. I'm just I don't even know how we slid into this hole right here, bro.
Yeah.
I know it's you got the political dynamic, but when we talking about world order is shifting, this is where we at with it right now.
I mean, let's be real.
Point. Now,
the politics. I'm apolitical. I think these guys are middle manager, kind of like. I don't think that they're just spokesmen, right? They're not there to actually make policy. If you want to know who the policymakers are, you go find the central banks. They dictate those policies to the big corporations, and the big corporations have the donors that go to the politics.
I have to let you know. Marty's a politician. Marty's a part of the DNC. So he didn't mention that in his bio. Right. But so he's a politician. So what do you have to say to that, Marty? Did you feel as a politician you had actual influence?
So check it out, right? So for me being in politics, to his point, right? Like saying that politicians are puppets, right? I think you got to look at it in the sense of system. And I don't know who controls the system, right? It's the same way as we playing a game, a board game, right? I can play that board game and, understand the rules of the game, play it to the maximum and have success and win in whatever form that looks like. But that isn't the person who created the game or who is overarching, dictating what the rules are, right? So for me, it's being a politician, being in the DNC, whatever, United States political arena. I just know what the game. I know how to play the game at my level, right? But I do have those thoughts of broader, what's going on, who's controlling what, and I could see how what happens when you step out of line, from being inside, right? You can feel the pressure. You don't know where the pressure is coming from, but you know it's there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I bet the first thing they teach you is hustle and get money and donations. I mean, that's the first thing I hear about bigger politicians, not local guys. I think local politicians are important, okay? Mm-hmm. When this decentralization trend is happening, I think it is going to become more regional. I think that we have a real chance. I mean, guys, I'm serious. We have a real chance to see the United States kind of dissolve into more regional areas being controlled by smaller politicians. So if you want to get in with your politicians, go find your local county guy, get in tight with them. How are they thinking? What are they doing? Find your local sheriff.
I think that's a little extreme to me, Chris, because at the national level, if we're talking about the United States as a whole disintegrating into these small kind of pockets, I don't think we're there. And if we were there, that's
I
don't know.
Democrats saying we're closer than you.
Are you guys
familiar? I'm going to
with
say, have you ever seen how polarized everybody is?
I get that.
We've got families going against each other.
I get
just
that,
based
but
on
don't you feel
ideology.
to a certain extent that that's somewhat the fringe is louder than the actual majority?
They control, bro. Look, they controlling it because we saw it with the Tea Party, right? Like as a Democrat, I'm looking at the Tea Party when it's first buzzing and bubbling. I'm like,
that's like 2007.
Y'all can't control them. Y'all can't control them. Y'all looking crazy. And you fast forward to where we are with my party, 2016, 2018, the progressive, I don't even know what they call
the
it,
leftist.
the progressive faction in our party that's doing what the Tea Party did, different ideology, but same type of pushing our party in the direction that we may not be wanting to go. And one of the most interesting books that I'm reading now is Ray Dalio's New World Order. So we talk about all these different, influence areas that are kind of dictating that we're moving to a new world order. That's why when Chris say things about to change, like I don't know that we'll be regional, countries or anything like that. But I mean, we headed towards a major revolution. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what that will look like. A lot of stuff has been happening over the past, even 2 years now with the pandemic that has kind of like accelerated that beyond anything that I would have expected. So
it just seems like it definitely seems like people are being triggered or pushed by these polarizing ideas that get set in motion when there really wasn't even that kind of a topic being in the natural community. And it seems like all of a sudden there's something being pushed out in the mainstream media, and now it's like, well, you got to take a side. How do you feel? Well, make your stand on this. And if you're not with us, well, then you're wrong, and we're going to dox you, or we're going to shut you down, or cancel you somehow.
Yeah, but those moments rise and fall throughout history. I mean,
if you've seen the Bolshevik Revolution, look at the Bolshevik Revolution, my friend. It's exactly what happened.
That's true.
We're at Germany, Weimar Republic right now. I mean,
that's extreme.
The money's cooked. Money is cooked.
That's a little hyperbolic.
Well, check in with me in August.
we'll have to get back on.
If we're talking Weimar Republic, there's certain historical precedents that were set that created that crisis to happen, and then
mass unemployment,
the United States' precedents historically are completely different. We didn't have a world war that created the Weimar Republic. The Revolutionary War created the United States, but it's completely different. It's a completely different situation than what was happening.
Wow, bro.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little. I think it's a little bit extreme to say. In the next 10 years, we're going to be in regional republics or something.
Well, honestly,
probably about 2 years.
Be like its own standalone government, but
He said 2 years. Is
2 years?
Yeah, not even 2 years. So I don't know. It's hard to. It's really hard to say, right? However, I'm always looking into this stuff. I'm like, everything that they said was a conspiracy theory has pretty much come to fruition at this point. So and I've been influenced by books and different authors and stuff like that. But I like to look at the think tanks, because the think tanks really showcase. They really create policy. I mean, they influence policy. They create influence legislation. So I'm looking at a lot of these new think tanks, and I was reading something the other day. There's a new one out, the Free Private Cities. Are you guys familiar with this? Where they're basically pushing this whole concept to Chris's point, which is about creating private cities where basically you can contract, you just pay to
NFTs.
No, there would be like it would